Hello everyone, I'm Justin, and for today's video, we are building a kingdom. Play the music. The world of fantasy and magic, the perfect place for a setting where the hero fights against the evil Demon King to protect humanity. There is only one single issue. The Demon King is a woman and she's into him. Today, I want to talk about a really interesting anime that I stumbled upon during my first few years watching anime, and I got to admit, I first started watching it for the plot, but soon I was invested deeply in the story, wanting to learn more about it and trying to understand all these difficult concepts that started to get thrown around. I mean, what even is a 4-field crop rotation or a futures contract? But anyway, let's start reviewing this anime, Maoyu. Maoyu, or the Demon King and the Hero, has a really interesting start. You're first greeted into this magic and swords fantasy world with humans and demons at war, and the hero has entered into the Demon King castle to put an end to the war. But instead of a full-on 1v1 battle, we meet the queen who is in love with the hero and explains the reasons behind the war. That has benefited both races, and how if the war were to end, it would cause a shift in power between the southern and central kingdoms that would end up in a civil war. The queen and the hero decide to join forces in order to find a way to peacefully end the war, promoting trade between humans and demons, and protecting the southern famished kingdoms from the wealthy central kingdoms. Simple, right? Well, to fulfill this goal, the queen disguises herself as a scholar in the human kingdoms, and the hero starts wearing a dark knight armor in the demon realm. He is bringing unity and strength to the demons, while she teaches the students and propagates cropping methods and useful inventions such as the printing press. I got to admit, I didn't expect to enjoy this anime so much, because at the time, I only thought good animes were things like Naruto or Hunter x Hunter. You know, full-on shonens that focus on fighting and improving your skills. And basically, this anime is the complete opposite. It was a slow learning experience about how to develop a country, the reasonings behind wars, and different methods of trading, and in general, it was how to rule a kingdom 101. Not to say that there was no fighting, because there were some situations where war was inevitable, and we got to see some cool looking moments from the hero. But we could clearly see that fighting wasn't the main point of the story. Rather than focusing on the black and white heroes are good and demons are bad, it brings a more realistic approach on how the economy, international relations, and implementation of programs affect the lives of citizens, and how the general public are subject to the whims of the rulers when most of them just want a peaceful life. I think the anime did a good job depicting medieval society in that way, especially on how religion was used as a powerful tool to promote policies, and when someone was bothering them, they could just call him a heretic and burn them in the cross, as well as the use of slaves, which was a common thing at the time, and by promoting freedom of will, there was a mini enlightenment era for the people of the world. Another thing that I enjoyed was the names of the characters, because of rather than giving them specific names, they simply used their titles, such as White King, Crimson Scholar, Young Merchant, and so on. This made the story really simple to follow, as I wouldn't need to remember who was that guy I saw 2 episodes ago. And I think not many animes do this type of naming. I think the only newer one that I would remember is Goblin Slayer. But a thing that I have to mention is the use of fantasy racism and slavery. I think that this is a really simple trope that has been a bit overused, and I personally feel it's a bit of a lazy writing for the author to just basically tell us that yes, racism is bad and the slave owners are bad people. But aside from that, I think that the world building and the story are top notch. While I could simply explain what happens in the story during the run of the 12 episodes, I think there are so many complex terms that would make it too difficult to explain in a short video. so I would rather give this simple recommendation to anyone who has been interested so far. Do you like slow-paced anime that focuses on people thinking rather than fighting? Are you into world building and land development? If so, I would recommend you to give Maoyu a try, because while it is not your typical power fantasy, I feel it's an underlooked anime because of its pacing and the type of story, so more people deserve to know about it. And of course, if you have already finished the anime, you can either read the light novel or the manga, where you will find a full completed story that was left in a kind of cliffhanger during the last moments of the anime, where we see some conspiracies between human kingdoms and demons. And with that said, we come to the conclusion of this anime review. What did you guys thought of Maoyu? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, see you guys next time.